Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a very quick video. The guys at RecoverFun sent me this kit. Inside this kit is yet another massage gun for your consideration. Alright, so I'm not here to debate the effectiveness or the ineffectiveness of massage guns. In my humble opinion, if it makes your training better because it makes you feel better, then you might want to consider purchasing one. I myself have been using one just attached to an old Black & Decker jigsaw. I went to Jigsaw Attachments and actually got one of the little attachment points. And I've been using that for months. I'm just gonna tell you right off the bat, I was originally planning on doing a comparison video, but there is no comparison. The RecoverFun is significantly better, it's quieter, it has more options, and I just wanna jump right into it. Starting with the case. So when it comes to marketing, branding is always something that should be important. This case is very well done. I know it's just a case, but inside of it's just formed nice, the outside feels nice, the branding looks nice, it's got a rubberized handle, it's got a decent zipper on it. I can't speak to the longevity, I don't have to throw these things in my gym bag, but it seems like the kind of zipper that would last for a significantly long time. It doesn't have to deal with load. When you open up the kit, you have the RecoverFun manual. You have, now it took me a minute to figure out what these are, but this little plastic bag, and it's filled with these little rubber doohickeys. What those are replacement for these rubber seals that are on the attachment points. So in the event that you wear one of those out just from use, it comes with 3 extra ones right there. And then of course it comes with the massage gun itself, a single battery, the charger, and then it has 6 different tips. Now, 5 of the tips are actually in their own little nook. So like your fork tip has a fork tip formed area where it gets stored. Your foam ball tip, this is like a 1.5 inch diameter foam ball. This is the tip that you most often see people using. It's really versatile. This is the hollow rubber tip. So this is like a hollow and givable type rubber surface. Then you have the pinpoint massage tip. And then you have what is my favorite tip, which is this flat hammer. And last but not least, this one's just kind of thrown in the side. But this is like a foam type material. Now this foam type material has really kind of been gaining a little bit of favoritism from me outside of that one there. So really, what is it? It's a massage gun. It's an ultra quiet massage gun. It does have the ability to remove the battery. So you'll see right here, it says press under the arrow to replace the battery. When you do that, it just slides right off. It lasts a long time. I have tried to kind of abuse this battery a little bit for the sake of this review. So the first time that I used this, I drained the battery all the way down until it just would not operate anymore. After that, I charged it all the way up, and then I only let it drain down about halfway and charged it back up, and then drained it all the way back down. It didn't really have any memory to the battery, so to speak. I didn't have any issues with it, but again, that's going to be determined on how you use it, how you charge it. I really cannot speak to the longevity of the battery at this time. The operation of it's pretty easy, so first you select which tip you want to use. We'll go with just this one for now. All you do is you just line it up with the hole in the front, right there, and push this in. You'll see the little rubber gasket. Just push it until it seals. On the bottom, there's a switch, off and on. Press it to on. At that point, you're ready to go. You have your battery indicator lights at the bottom. There's 4 green lights and 1 red light. I've actually found these to be moderately accurate. Even when I finally killed the battery, it still had 1 green and the red, and when I turned it on, it just died completely. So a little bit of feedback there is the battery indicator doesn't seem to work that well, although it does work pretty well. Now you have 5 speeds to this. The first speed, just by pressing the on button once, will fire it up. And you can hear right now that it's really not that loud. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, when you're up on speed 5 and you want to come back down to speed 1, all you have to do is just touch it again, and it's going to cycle all the way back down. In order to actually power it down, you got to press and hold the power button, and it'll power down completely. Some little notes about this thing. First off, you can only push with 65 pounds of force before you will just stop the piston altogether. Realistically, if you look at the way that you should be using these tools, you should be pushing more than 65 pounds anyways. So I really feel like that doesn't matter that much. Although I have seen some stuff where people are taking like a towel and they're rack mounting this with like a bungee strap and then trying to lean into it with their back. And if you do that, just make sure that you don't go past 65 pounds of force. Otherwise, you're just gonna cause the piston to stop operating. Now, when the piston does stop operating, all you gotta do is just cycle the power and power it back up. But even then, sometimes it just starts up on its own. You will see some heavier battery usage if you do that. I wouldn't recommend doing this for a long period of time or a lot. I know I just did it a whole bunch right there, but again, the whole point of this is to show you guys the capabilities. But that's speed 1. Speed 3, shutting it down. Speed 5. So I'm having to push pretty hard to actually get it to shut down. Wouldn't recommend doing it all that much. So again, this is my favorite tip. This is like the flat plastic tip. It has these little dots all over it. The reason I like this is because it glides nicely across clothing, so you don't have to have bare skin. If you do have bare skin, it also glides nicely across bare skin. This is the pinpoint tip. The pinpoint tip is also a really nice tip to have. My only feedback on it is that you can tell where this was formed, and there's like a seam that runs along it. Now, if you are wearing this with just like a t-shirt on, that's fine. But if you put it on bare skin, that little seam, especially up on speed 5, you actually start to feel that seam more than you actually feel the percussion tip. And it's almost like this cutting type feeling. So a little bit of discomfort there, not necessarily bad. With mine, I'm probably just gonna hit it with some sandpaper to get it back down to being flush. So this is the most common tip that I see people use with percussion massagers, but in my opinion, I feel like it's kind of useless. So what it is it's a rubber bulb on the end of a breathable tip. The nice part is that it's really forgiving. So if you were to push this hard into your body, you have some give there. The thing I don't like about it is that as you try to take this across clothing, it just kind of grabs whatever clothing you have. Even when it's on, it just kind of like grabs the clothing. So you have to use it on bare skin. If you're like me, if you use this on bare skin with other people, it gets kind of gross. All right, so the foam ball tip. This thing, if you are going to use it on bare skin, this is amazing for hitting like quads, hamstrings, large muscle groups. Really enjoy it for that. I have used it pretty heavily, and I've taken it against some pretty hard objects, like my power rack, just to test it. And so far has yet to really deform, and it doesn't have any soft points yet. This is the fork tip. I think it's designed to basically go across muscle groups. This works really well because for whatever reason, I showed you guys the pinpoint tip earlier. These don't have quite the same seam as the other ones. So to use this on bare skin doesn't cause any pain with that cutting action that I described earlier. But you do get 2 different tips. So I find that I really enjoy using this on like pec area, on my back area, even on quads, hamstrings. It's pretty useful, and you kind of get like 2 little pinpoint tip areas. Just as a quick note, this also has a little lug right here. And what this does is it keeps it oriented with this lug so that when you have this assembled, it doesn't rotate on you. So you can always count on this being in the same orientation as the massage gun itself. And last but not least, we have this foam tip. And I think this foam tip was kind of an add-on to the Plus model a little bit later. It's nice, it glides across shirts nicely, it glides across skin nicely. Zero issues with it. I actually really enjoy it. It's somewhere between that rubber tip I showed you earlier and the foam tip, but it's a really quality item. I was kind of scared with the foam at first because I thought it might wear out. Now keep in mind, I've only been using this for about 3 weeks, but I imagine this will be the first tip that gets worn through. And what'll probably happen is that finish layer that's on the outside of the foam will probably wear out. Once that wears out, it's just going to disintegrate. But you could probably buy these tips from RecoverFun from their website. One other little thing, a critique that I noticed, and I'll show some video. I took some video with my phone over the weekend, but if it is cold outside, so this is a garage gym channel. If it's cold outside, which when you're in a garage gym and it's cold outside, it's going to be cold in the gym. If this gun is cold, it's going to be very slow to start, or it won't start at all, even with a full charge. However, I did find that you could kind of like pump the piston and get it going. So just kind of like a small critique. It was about 45 degrees outside and the gun was just completely inoperable with a fully charged battery. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. I know that there's like 1,001 of these massage guns out there, but tell me what you guys think. I know that there's different models. I know that Theragun kind of has the market on massage guns, but don't discount guys like RecoverFun that seem to be coming out with more affordable products that do almost or does the exact same thing. It's quiet, it's easy to use. So far in 3 weeks of heavy use, the battery seems to last okay, and you can buy extra batteries if you need it. And really my only critique is that one, the motor seems a little bit weak, so when you push so hard you can get the motor to stop. The battery status indicator light isn't quite accurate, and it just seems kind of weird that the foam tip is just kind of tossed in with the battery charger. But other than that, it's nice and quiet. It works nicely. My daughters love it. My wife loves it. I love it. Even our dogs really enjoy this thing. It's to the point now where if they hear it power on, they'll come walking over because they want a little massage on the hind legs. But that's been my review. Tell me what you guys think in the comments down below. One, do you think massage guns are even worth having? I think they are personally, if it makes you feel better and it helps your training. But tell me what you think down below. I appreciate each and every single one of you that watch these videos, and remember that when it comes to garage gyms, it should always be better, awesome, and badass. I'll see you guys next time.